Hello, YouTubers, and welcome to Level-Headed News. This is your host, Brenda. I had some information that I wanted to go ahead and get out to you this evening. I didn't want to wait until morning on this one because if any of you are planning to participate, this could be a lot of important information. The URL is in the description of this video for your convenience. The name of the article is Critical Security Advice for March for Trump Event Organizers and Participants. And this is off of Oath Keepers. It says, we are posting the below security advice now because of the many March for Trump events across the country tomorrow. Please pass this on to anyone who will be attending those events. However, this advice will also prove useful for future events. Oath Keepers will have members and teams from local chapters at many of these March for Trump rallies and marches tomorrow to help keep people safe. Our members and chapters have full discretion to help anywhere they can, and also have full discretion to do so covertly, overtly, or in a mix of overt-covert, as we did in Washington, D.C. on January the 19th through the 20th for the inauguration and surrounding events. Organizers and participants in the March for Trump events need to understand that we can't be at all of them. And we can't guarantee their safety even at the ones we will be attending. Your safety is ultimately up to you, as the below advice makes clear. American patriots have got to come to terms with the reality that the far left is becoming increasingly unhinged and prone to violent terrorism. And you will need to expect the worst and prepare for it. And that means you need to be your own bodyguard and guardian over your family and friends, as the founders expected us to be, as members of a true civilian militia. Do not rely on the police to protect you or anyone else. They cannot be everywhere, even when they are allowed to do their job to the best of their ability, which is sadly not always the case, as explained below. The following threat assessment and advice was written up by Navy Jack and John Karaman, provided by Navy Jack. It says, the most organizations that are involved in protests against the policies of the current administration are nonviolent. The organizations that have used violence in recent protests include the following. Number one, Antifa, short for Anti-Fascist Action. Number two, Antichrist Black Cross. Number three, Refuse Fascism, closely related to Revolutionary Communist Party USA. Number four, La Raza and affiliates. Number five, BAM, and that's BAMN, by any means necessary, is what that stands for. The Antifa and the Antichrist Black Cross and the BAM organization normally rely on the presence of protesters from other organizations to mask their activity in a larger group. The percentage of actual violent protesters when one of the groups listed above intercedes can be lower than 10%. This presents a significant issue for law enforcement personnel attempting to stop or contain violent activity. There are numerous ways to identify the violent protesters, including number one, they cover their faces with balaclavas or bandanas to mask their identity. Number two, La Raza and affiliates carry the flag of Mexico and or Aztlan, and those are pictured in this article if you pull this up and take a look at it. Number three, Antifa carry battle flags with their group's affiliation, and there's four of them, and it shows those here in this article. It says Antichrist Black Cross carry square black flags. Number five, Refuse Fascism carry no signs, flags, and posters, and it shows those here in the article. Number six, BAMN, that's BAMN, carry red flags with their logo that says BAMN, by any means necessary. Number seven, Antifa and Antichrist Black Cross like to dress in all black. The Antifa and the Antichrist Black Cross see themselves as the vanguard of the protest movement against the current administration. They actively train in self-defense and hand-to-hand combat. They carry weapons, although usually not firearms unless in an open carry state. They wear backpacks and normally bring the following items to the protest. Number one is firecrackers, including M80s and bottle rockets. Number two, hammers to break glass. Number three, long metal pipes with end cap fittings to assault people. Number four, heavy wooden poles used to display flags and assault people. Number five, lighter fluid containers to start fires, burn hats and flags, create micro Molotov cocktails. Number six, lighters. Number seven, spears made from PVC and used as weapons. Number eight, gas masks. Number nine, eye protection. La Raza and Refuse Fascism have not been noted to bring incendiaries or other weapons to their protests at this time. It should be noted that the Revolutionary Communist Red Guard are frequently integrated with the Refuse Fascism protests and can be a source of violence. Red Guard members, like the Antifa, wear distinctive face coverings and clothing, and they got a picture of it here. Face coverings have the hammer and sickle on them. It says all of the violent groups communicate via Twitter using localized accounts and spur-of-the-moment hashtags. Large events are normally posted on Facebook, or emails are sent to members of these organizations via list services, Google, Spokes, WordPress. They have learned not to post their activities more than 24 hours in advance to avoid law enforcement detection. Refuse Fascism, La Raza, and BAM tend to have large numbers of protesters that are reluctant to initiate violence. If they are stopped from achieving their goals, blocking a road or blocking access to a venue, shutting down government office or place of business, etc., they escalate until they achieve their goal or are suppressed. Antifa and Antichrist Black Cross are by far the most violent of these organizations. They tend to infiltrate protests already in motion and immediately escalate to violence once integrated. Previously nonviolent protesters get caught up in the melees and join in. While there are many other protest organizations, including Black Lives Matter, the Huey P. Nelson Gun Club, and the New Black Panthers, their involvement to date in violent anti-administration protests has been minimal. And this provided by John Kerriman, Missouri State Police Academy instructor, says, should you plan to attend an event that might be the target of one of the above listed groups, we offer the following suggestion. Number one, take your physical health and mobility into account. If you're in poor health or cannot break into a sprint for 30 paces, consider avoiding the event. More and more, less is being done to ensure the safety of attendees. From stand-down orders to globalist-minded administrators to law enforcement personnel to poor planning on the part of the event coordinators, more serious injuries are being seen. Weigh the exercise of your First Amendment against your safety and well-being. Number two, travel to and from the event is when the greatest dangers exist. If you have identifying markings or stickers on your vehicle, you may be the target before ever arriving at your destination. Bad guys are headed to the same event. You are in traffic with them. Once in the area, you are wearing, or are you wearing, identifying hats or shirts that are observable from a distance? Nothing wrong with identifying with a particular sentiment or ideology unless you are traveling through a sea of hate to get to your appointed destination. Drawing attention to yourself without superior numbers is suicidal. Don't think you will become the exception to the rule. Rioters who have assaulted people have been released without charges, given letters of apology, and been paid for their trouble. Welcome to opposite day. Number three, do not expect help from law enforcement, even if you can make it to their position. The very group tasked with protecting and serving has been routinely dropping the ball when it comes to the safety of the public. Recently in Berkeley, a young woman who had been maced and beaten by the crowd was not allowed into the very venue she had come to attend. Police would not respond to her beating on the door despite her obvious distress. She had left her husband for dead in the street where they were surrounded. She saw him go down from having been struck in the head with a metal pole. She and her husband wore no identifying clothing, but were singled out because they were seen in the area of an event the crowd disagreed with. Both wore Kevlar under their clothes. Although he survived his attack, he suffered a concussion and several broken ribs through the Kevlar vest. Lack of crowd control is a decision made on high and has happened repeatedly in cities sympathetic to un-American causes where dissenting opinions are not tolerated. Funny coming from the same group preaching tolerance. Take the demographics of your particular area into consideration when planning to attend the event. Number 4, do not get involved in debate outside or inside, for that matter, with dissenters. It is a common tactic to distract while another ambushes from the side or rear. Liquids and objects are often thrown. Consider bringing an umbrella to keep paint, urine, blood, feces, acid from making contact with your eyes or skin. Avoid hotspots where you have people masked up and being whipped into a frenzy by someone with a bullhorn. You have a volatile situation. Attempting to walk through their midst without looking like and acting like the crowd is a recipe for disaster. Number 6, strengthen numbers. Coordinate your coming and going with a larger group. Pairs are as vulnerable as singles. Link up with other smaller groups and move together. Put your smaller people inside of your pod or away from the crowd. This is no place for children. We've seen children and the elderly attacked by these animals. So there you have that information, and I hope that's helpful to you. If you like what I'm doing here, give it a thumbs up, share it on your social media so everybody gets to hear the news, and subscribe if you haven't done that. That way you'll stay informed.